Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, we ready.
All right, let's do this. Uh, what's up, y'all? Trent Small, the chef, aka Red Specs. Y'all know what it is. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m., Unscripted Conversations. I speak on things that people think about but are afraid to say out loud. I'm the one that's going to say it out loud for you. And if you have any other subjects or topics that you want me to talk about here on Unscripted Conversations, put it in the comment section right there, and I'll look through it and we'll get to it as soon as possible. Tonight's episode: has common sense become uncommon? Mm. We're going to talk about it today. And I want to thank everybody. Welcome you back to another episode of Unscripted Conversation. Like I said, with me, I'm your host of Unscripted Conversation, and I'm the host of Unscripted Conversations with my brother AK Alpha Moon and BK Pinky, which comes on Thursdays live at 8 p.m. But we into season 6, so stay tuned for that. Now, tonight we're talking about something that's been on my mind for a while. Has common sense become uncommon? Because I go outside here to the store, even to the gym. I see things that have me bugging. And I'm wondering if this person had common sense at this point when he chose to do this. Big up to the young lady in the gym. Thank you for your respect and honesty today. I appreciate it. We had a little talk, and I appreciate that, my lady. Now, before anybody gets defensive, right, and jumps into the comments talking about Red Specs attacking people and this and that and yada, 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 that's not what this is about. Okay, that's not what this is about. It isn't about intelligence, right? It isn't about education. This isn't about race, politics, age, gender, or where you come from. Okay. This is about something much deeper. Pause. Because lately I feel like we've living in a world where people have access to more information than ever before, right? More information than ever before. Yet somehow we seem to be making some dumb or the dumbest decisions imaginable, right? How can you have smartphones that can answer almost any questions in seconds, right? But people still believe everything they read online without checking a single fact. You have smartphones also, and people that's not so smart, right? When it comes to common sense. Now we can have a GPS system, right? A GPS system that tells us exactly where to go, exactly, right? A way to go. Yet, people seem to uh, 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 completely lost in life, right? How did we get to a place where basic courtesy, uh, professional responsibility, and critical thinking seem like rare superpowers? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm getting older, okay? Or maybe common sense is really becoming uncommon. Hmm. So tonight we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it here tonight on Unscripted Conversations. And I want to hear from you down in the comments sections. I want to hear from you because if you ever looked at the news, social media, even in your workplace, your neighborhood, or even your own family and said, excuse me, what in the world are people thinking? What in the world is this person thinking about? What in the world are they thinking about? Then this conversation is for you. Let's brace it. Let's get into it. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. Segment 1. Y'all like my Soul Train shirt? I think it's cool, right? I like that. I like that. Common sense isn't intelligence. So, one thing people confuse all the time is intelligence and common sense, right? They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. Okay. I've met highly educated people who couldn't change a flat tire to change to save their fucking life. All right. So there you go. And then I met people with multiple degrees who couldn't hold a simple conversation without creating drama. And I've met people also who never finished school at all, but could walk into a room, read the situation, solve a problem, and make the right decision almost every time. Boom. Common sense isn't about how much you know, right? It's about how you apply it and apply what you know. It's judgment. It's awareness. It's understanding consequences before they happen. And that's something that can't always be it can't always be taught in the classroom. Common sense can't always be taught in the classroom. Right? Because sometimes life teaches it. Sometimes failures teaches it. Right? Sometimes pain teaches it. So I have a question for you guys tonight. Do you think common sense can be taught? Can you think common sense can be taught? Put it down in the comment section, please. Or another question, or does life have to teach it the hard way? Segment 2. Everybody has a voice, but nobody wants to listen. Everybody has a voice, but nobody wants to listen, right? Let's talk about social media, because I think social media changed every goddamn thing, right? Years ago, if somebody had a bad opinion, maybe 10 people heard it, right? Very few. Now, millions can hear it. Everybody has a microphone. Everybody has a platform. And everybody has an opinion. But here's the problem. Everybody wants to talk. Yeah. But nobody want to fucking listen. Excuse my expression. Everybody wants to talk. Nobody wants to listen. People read headlines without reading articles. People watch 10 seconds of a video and think they know the whole entire story of the video. Or should I say the story? People make judgments before gathering facts. Facts. And then when they're proven wrong, oh Lord, when they proven wrong, instead of saying, I was wrong, they double down, right? They double down. That's not common sense. That's that ego. And ego always is replacing critical thinking. Always. It's crazy. Questions. Have social media and smartphones make us smarter? Have they made us smarter? They call smartphones, but have they made us smarter? Or just louder? Put it down in the comments. Segment 3. Personal responsibilities is becoming a lost art. If you agree with that. Personal responsibilities is becoming a lost art around here. And here's where some people might get a little uncomfortable. And you know me, I don't care about that. This is what this show is. It's about being uncomfortable. So that way, you can say what you want when the time comes. Talk to me on this platform. Let's get it out. So when you can get it out to others in a way that you didn't know how to do before, right? So I just want to know at what point did accountability become optional? Because it seems like every mistake today has somebody else's name attached to it. Every mistake, right? Accountability. It's the government's fault. You know? It's my boss at work. It's his fault. He's the one that it's my parents' fault. They don't even want me to. It's society's fault. It's the internet fault. It's everybody's fault except the person staring back at us in the mirror. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes life absolutely deals people a bad hand. I'm not going to front. Life is like that. Life be lifing, right? As we say. But at some point, we still have to ask ourselves, what part did I play in this situation? And that question alone, requires maturity. And maturity requires what? Common sense. Right? Because growth begins when excuses end. Let me say that again. Growth begins when excuses end. I tell you, man, I be coming up with some stuff, boy. Whew, sometimes I amaze myself. Put it in the comments, any of the questions I asked you earlier. And I have more questions right now. Do people, right? Do people take responsibility less than they used to? Do they take responsibility less than they used to? And why? Drop it in the comment. Because a lot of people don't want to take full responsibility for nothing, accountability for nothing. Put it down in the comments. Segment 4. We ain't finished. Information everywhere, wisdom nowhere. So we live in the information age, as y'all know, right? You can learn almost anything online about anything. You need cooking lessons, you go online, even though you should be coming to Trent Smaller Chef. But if you need cooking lessons, you could get it online. YouTube it, man. Need relationship advice? Red Specs? No. YouTube. Need business advice? Red Specs? No. You can YouTube it. Need medical advice? Red Specs again, if you like, but you can use Tube it, right? You can use Tube and go online to find anything. Everybody suddenly becomes a doctor on Facebook. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? But information isn't wisdom. Knowing isn't the same as understanding, right? Watching isn't the same as experiencing. You can watch 100 videos about, let's say, about swimming. 100 videos about swimming. And you'll still drown if you've never been in the water. Oh, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. Still drown. I don't care how many videos you can watch. You get in the water and drown your own damn self. Experiences teaches lessons Google never can. So having experience is better, and it teaches you a lot. You know, like I said, then Google could never, right? And that's where common sense often comes from. Okay, life experiences. It also comes from mistakes, as well as failures, consequences. All of these. Question: what's a lesson, or should I say, what's a lesson life taught you? A lesson that life taught you that nobody else could. Put it down in the comments, because I want to know about this question. What's a lesson life have taught you that nobody else could? Put it down in the comments. I want to hear this. I want to read it, and I'm going to comment on it later on after the show. Facts. Segment 5. Are we distracted more than we think? And I had an episode about are we too distracted? You know, and you can go back and check that one out as well. Are we too distracted more than we think? So maybe common sense isn't disappearing. Maybe it's not going anywhere, you know. Maybe it's just that we're distracted. Okay, think about it. Think about it. The average person wakes up and immediately checks their phone. I got a habit of doing it sometime myself. So I'm not going to say that, you know, I don't do it. Check my phone, right? Notifications, emails, texts, videos, news. It's just scrolling and looking through, you know. Some people is into the drama and the arguments. I'm not into all that. More notifications. So we're constantly consuming this information all day, all night. But we're rarely processing it. It's so much that we're not even processing it. And when people become overloaded with all this crap, they stop thinking. Right? They stop thinking. They react. And reaction is not the same as reasoning. Okay? Look, maybe common sense isn't dying. Maybe it's being drowned out by all that other noise and all that nonsense that we're reading and scrolling and texting and on and on and on. Maybe it's just getting drowned out by that, our common sense. Number 6. Hold on your seats real quick. The shopping cart test. Let me explain. Let's have some fun right now, right? I call this the shopping cart test, right? Nobody pays you to return it. Nobody punish you if you don't, right? But putting it back is the right thing to do. Why? Because it helps somebody else? Simple. Common sense. So here's a few more. Returning your shopping cart. You know they have that thing you're supposed to put your cart back, especially outside, right? Put your shopping cart back. Because the wind will blow it and it run into my car or run into somebody's car. Returning your shopping cart. Common sense. Not texting while driving. Common sense. Being on time. Oh, Lord, I hate somebody that's not on time. I'm always on time wherever I go. So I expect that person or whoever to be on time as well, whether it's employees or whether somebody I'm meeting, be on time. That's common sense. Treating workers with respect. Always do, always will. Some people don't, but that's common sense. Looking both ways before crossing the street. Common sense. Checking facts before sharing information. This one is tough because a lot of people don't have common sense when it comes to that. You don't check your facts before you share any information, especially in the social media, on the internet. Now, these are not completed ideas, right? I'm not making completed ideas, but yet every day people ignore them. Every day they ignore them. Why? Because doing the right thing often requires effort. Doing the right thing requires efforts. And convenience is usually the one that wins. For my final thoughts tonight, once again, jump in that comment, man. Let me know what you think about this episode. So for my final thoughts, as we close tonight's conversations, here's what I think. I don't believe common sense has disappeared. I don't believe it. I believe distractions have multiplied, right? I also believe accountability has declined. I believe emotions are often louder than logic. And I also believe too many people react before they think. And I also believe common sense is still alive. It's alive in people who think before they speak. It's alive in people who take responsibilities. It's alive in people who learn from their mistakes. It's alive in people who care about how their action affects others. And the real question isn't whether common sense has become uncommon. The real question here is, are we willing to practice it? Are we willing to practice it? Because society doesn't change when everybody else changes. It doesn't happen that way. Society changes when we do. Right? Society doesn't change when everybody else changes. Right? It changes when we do. So what's up? This is Red Specs once again. This has been another episode of Unscripted Conversations. I want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Once again, you can place your comments in the comments section either now or once this episode has ended. I will try to get to all the comments as I always do. Now I want to hear from you, like I said, in the comments. Has common sense become uncommon? Or are we just making life harder than it needs to be? Put it down in the comments. Drop your thoughts down there. So I know a lot of you guys have a lot of thoughts. Once again, until next time, think for yourself. Viewers' engagement is here on Food for Thought, Unscripted Conversations. See you next week. Thank you.